Hello chess lovers, Soren here, and in today's video I want to share with you a very interesting game played by American chess grandmaster Robert James Fischer against Icelandic chess grandmaster Fridrik Olafsson. This game is from 1961 Bled International Chess Tournament. These are the final standings of the tournament. You can see that Tal is the winner of the tournament with 14.5 points. Fischer is second with 13.5 points, and Petrosian is the bronze medalist. This is of course a good result for 18-year-old Fischer. Moreover, he celebrated a moral victory by beating Mikhail Tal in this tournament. With this being said, now we can go for the game. So this is game from round 4, and Fischer opened up with e4. Olafsson's answer was c5. Sicilian defense is on the board, and Olafsson goes for accelerated dragon. Knight c3, knight c6, bishop e3, knight f6, bishop c4, and queen a5. Now the threat is knight takes e4, that's why white castled kingside, d6, knight b3, queen goes back, and white bishop also retreats. Both players lost the tempo, and they are on equal terms, right? First queen a5, queen c7, bishop c4, bishop e2, and so we have this classical setup where white is starting a kingside attack. a5, a4, after which both players are securing nice outposts for their knights. In here, Fischer made a very interesting move and played rook f2. A strong move, of course, would like to give an exclamation mark, and this is a multi-purpose move. White not only can double up his rooks on the f-file, but also this rook on the second rank is strengthening, for example, the pawn on c2, and at the same time now we will see that by playing rook d2, white will start putting pressure on d6. e5, bishop f3, bishop d7, and there it goes, rook d2 targeting this weakened pawn on d6. Rook goes on d8, king h1. Another very interesting and strong move by Fischer. Well, he's not hurrying with rook takes d6. It won't give white anything. Let's first finish up the game, and then I will turn on Stockfish to see, for example, what can be black's counterplay after rook takes d6. And the point of this king h1 is that you are not only moving away your king from g1 a7 diagonal, where for example, in some cases it can be exposed to checks, but also turns out that by making that move, what is more important, Fischer is freeing the g1 square for the queen. A very interesting idea, and bishop b6 now is the threat. At the same time, white is freeing the d1 square for the rook. Knight goes back on d7, neutralizing the threat. f5, b6, rook a d1. Yeah, I really liked this queen g1 move, and to be honest, I see an idea like this for the first time. Yeah, I have to be honest, this is something new to me. I can't remember whether I have seen anything like this. Knight goes on b5, queen e7, and the pawn on d6 drops. In return, black is winning the pawn on c2. And yeah, this leads to some complications, you know. Utmost precision is required by both sides. They have to be very careful in their analysis. Bishop e2, white wants to activate the bishop. If bishop lands on b5, it will be of course good, but there is no time for it. First, the pawn on a4 drops, b3, the bishop retreats all the way back to e8, because black sees that bishop c4 is coming, is overprotecting it, and there comes a4, trying to weaken the outpost of this bishop, right? At the same time, black wants to create a counterplay on the queen side, bishop d5, and instead of thinking about moving away the rook like rook a6, in here Olafsson played rook takes d6. He's going for an exchange sacrifice. Rook d4, f takes g6, h takes g6, b takes a4, bishop takes a4, rook a1, queen f8. So far so good, but this queen f8 is a mistake, and Yeah, this is something which spoils Olafsson's game. Okay, let's first finish the game and then we will cover sidelines. With queen f8, black is creating bishop h6 threat, at the same time is attacking the bishop on a8. And now what to play? Seems like that white is in a very tough situation, right? How to proceed, that's the question. But I guess that Fischer saw this queen f8 coming. Maybe even in here he saw that move. And yeah, you can give it a try to find how to proceed with the white pieces. Ready? Here Fischer played bishop d5. Okay, he's inviting this bishop h6 move. And now what? What to play? There it goes. Fischer decided to go for a queen sacrifice. He's giving up his queen. Bishop takes e3, rook takes a4. The back rank is weak, and two rooks against the queen are a stronger force in here. Moreover, the coordination of the rooks, the maneuvers of the rooks, are supported by this bishop, which is putting a useful pressure on f7. Queen h6, rook f1, hitting on f7. Yeah, now for example, checkmate can be a nice threat, right? If king g7, for example, there will be a checkmate. Otherwise, in case of king h7, you should give up your queen. Black neutralized the threat, but there comes g3, queen h3. Of course, you can't capture on g3 because, again, there will be a checkmate, or if here, then you should give up your queen. In our game, we have queen h3 and rook a1. Fischer is protecting the rook, and still this bishop is hanging. Bishop takes g3, rook a8, check, black resigned. If king h7, then check, another check, and yeah, black is losing his queen. That's why after king h7, resignation followed. Now our stockfish is on, and I want to go back up to move king h1. So yeah, in here you may ask, why not rook takes d6? If rook takes d6, then black has bishop a4 move, and yeah, black is managing to pretty much equalize. Of course, this is a very complex line requiring huge calculations, and maybe that was one of the reasons that Fischer didn't go for this risky rook takes d6 move, you know. It's too adventurous, and instead he chose a more solid continuation starting with king h1. Yeah, I guess that Fischer just thought that it leads to massive complications and at the same time simplifications. That's why just king h1 and then queen g1. I really like how Fischer is playing. Knight d7 f5, b6 rook d1, knight c5. We can see that white is enjoying a pleasant advantage. Well, Stockfish suggests different continuations like queen f2, then bishop e2, and then queen f2 here, and then bishop e2, bishop b5, right? Interesting approach. Stockfish suggests to regroup the pieces, but from a human point of view, the line chosen by Fischer is also good. Yeah, let's not concentrate too much on the evaluations, you know. I guess that this line is a pretty good one. And yeah, defending in such positions is not an easy task. Bishop goes back, bishop c4. All the time Fischer is finding ways of intensifying the pressure. Rook takes d6. Black could of course pretty much play rook a6, you know, but according to Stockfish, rook d6 is also something which is okay. Well, it popped up as the first choice. Rook takes d6, the rook drops, takes just rook d4, f takes g6. So in here, Stockfish suggests b takes a4 straight away. We have f takes g6, h takes g6 takes, bishop takes a4. And the reason for that is that in here there is a defense. For example, queen d8 is the move which can allow black to survive, hitting on d2 and on a8 as well. And now if you play bishop d5, then bishop c6. This is something which Olafsson overlooked. Yeah, and then what to play? I was thinking of queen b3, but there is bishop f7 move as well, and then queen b3 here. An interesting attacking resource, right? And then rook takes g7. But still, the position remains equal, although, yeah, black has to be very careful with this exposed king. Yeah, so there are not only moves like queen d8, but also queen e8 or queen d6. This is interesting, of course, but not queen f8, which is losing. So black went for that tempting bishop h6 move, and there comes this heavy blow. Bang! Rook takes d4. So nice, and yeah, already there is no defense. This is a destruction. Fischer is playing very accurately, and then comes rook a1, again a very accurate move. Takes, check, and black resigned. There is already a forced mate in 11. So this is it, dear chess lovers. Hope that you enjoyed the game. Feel free to share it with your friends as well. And in the end, a simple chess puzzle where the task is to win with the white pieces. As usual, we'll wait for your answer in the comment section. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in my next video. Take care.